Your temperature gauge starts climbing. A warning message flashes across the dash. The car suddenly feels different. It hesitates, it slips, it doesn't shift the way it normally does. Your mind jumps to the worst possible conclusion. The transmission is failing. And if you've ever looked up the cost of replacing a transmission, you already know why that thought hits like a punch in the chest. But here's the part most people don't realize. An overheating transmission and a failing transmission can feel almost identical from the driver's seat. The car feels weak, shifts feel wrong, warning lights appear. The vehicle might even go into limp mode. But the root cause behind those symptoms can be completely different. One might cost you a fluid service and a cooling repair. The other might cost you several $1,000s. The difference between those two outcomes comes down to understanding what's actually happening inside the transmission when heat is involved. Let's break this down clearly, because this is where most people get it wrong. First, understand this. Modern transmissions are extremely heat sensitive. They are controlled by computers, solenoids, clutch packs, hydraulic circuits, and sensors. When temperatures rise beyond a safe threshold, the transmission control module steps in to protect itself. It will change shift timing. It may delay engagement. It can limit available gears. It can even reduce engine power. To you, it feels like mechanical failure, but in many cases, the transmission is not failing. It is defending itself. That distinction matters. Now let's talk about what transmission overheating actually means. Transmission overheating doesn't just randomly happen in a healthy system. There is almost always a reason. The most common cause is degraded or low transmission fluid. Transmission fluid is not just lubricant, it is hydraulic fluid. It creates pressure to apply clutches, it cools internal components, and carries heat away from moving parts. When fluid gets old, oxidized, or low, its ability to absorb and dissipate heat drops dramatically. Temperatures rise fast. Another major cause is cooling system inefficiency. Many vehicles route transmission fluid through a cooler that is built into the radiator. Some use a separate external transmission cooler mounted near the front grille. If the radiator is partially clogged, if cooling fans are not engaging, if airflow is restricted, or if the cooler lines are blocked, heat cannot escape. The transmission starts cooking from the inside. Heavy towing, aggressive acceleration, mountain driving, and stop-and-go traffic amplify the problem, especially in hot climates. The transmission generates more heat under load. If the cooling system is already marginal, it crosses the threshold quickly. Here's what's important. Overheating symptoms often show up after the vehicle warms up. When cold, the car drives fine. After 15 to 20 minutes, shifts become delayed. The transmission may hesitate before engaging a gear. It may slam into gear unexpectedly. The vehicle may suddenly limit itself to 1 or 2 gears. Then, after sitting and cooling down, everything feels normal again. That temporary improvement is your first major clue. Mechanical failure does not cool off and disappear. Heat-related protective behavior does. Now let's contrast that with what a failing transmission truly feels like. When a transmission is mechanically failing, the symptoms are usually consistent and progressive. Slipping becomes more frequent. You press the accelerator and the engine revs up, but vehicle speed doesn't increase proportionally. That's clutch pack wear. You may feel shuddering during shifts. You may hear whining or grinding noises. You may notice delayed engagement into drive or reverse, even first thing in the morning when the vehicle is completely cold. And here's a critical difference. Those symptoms do not improve after cooling down. In fact, they often get worse as time passes. Heat can cause temporary abnormal behavior. Internal damage causes permanent abnormal behavior. Now, let's talk about how fluid connects both problems. Transmission fluid is the lifeblood of the system. When it overheats repeatedly, it oxidizes, it darkens, it starts to smell burnt. Once fluid burns, it loses viscosity and pressure stability. Clutch materials begin to degrade faster. Seals harden. Solenoids begin sticking. At that point, overheating transitions into mechanical damage. What started as a cooling issue becomes internal failure. This is why ignoring overheating is dangerous. One overheating event may not destroy a transmission. Repeated overheating absolutely will. There's another layer most drivers overlook. Engine overheating can indirectly cause transmission overheating. If your engine cooling system is compromised, low coolant, failing thermostat, bad water pump, clogged radiator, inoperative cooling fans, the radiator cannot properly remove heat from transmission fluid that passes through its cooler core. That means even if your transmission is mechanically healthy, it can still overheat because the shared cooling system isn't working efficiently. Some people replace transmissions when the real issue was a cooling fan that wasn't turning on. Now let's shift into diagnosis, because this is where you either save thousands or spend thousands unnecessarily. If you suspect overheating, the first step is checking fluid level and condition. Is the fluid low? Is it dark brown instead of red? Does it smell burnt? If yes, you already have heat stress occurring. Next, monitor temperature data using a scan tool if possible. Transmission operating temperatures typically range between about 175 degrees Fahrenheit to 220 degrees Fahrenheit under normal conditions. Once you start pushing beyond 230 degrees Fahrenheit to 240 degrees Fahrenheit consistently, you're in the danger zone. If temperatures spike during towing or traffic but return to normal during steady highway driving, that strongly suggests cooling limitations, not internal destruction. Now drop the transmission pan if diagnosis requires deeper confirmation. If you find excessive metal shavings or heavy clutch debris, that points toward internal mechanical wear. If the fluid is dark but relatively clean of metal particles, overheating may have occurred without catastrophic internal damage. Pay attention to when the symptoms happen. Only when hot? Likely thermal-related protection. Always, even cold? Likely internal wear. Now let's talk about fixing overheating the correct way. If fluid is degraded but internal damage has not yet occurred, a fluid and filter service can dramatically improve operation. Not just a quick drain and fill, but a proper service using manufacturer-recommended fluid. Cheap fluid can actually worsen problems due to incorrect friction characteristics. Next, verify cooling system performance. Confirm radiator airflow. Check that both cooling fans activate properly. Inspect transmission cooler lines for restriction or collapse. Flush debris if necessary. In towing applications or hot climates, installing an auxiliary transmission cooler can significantly reduce operating temperatures and extend transmission life. These repairs are usually measured in hundreds of dollars, not thousands. Now let's be clear about fixing a truly failing transmission. If clutch packs are worn, if metal contamination is widespread, if hydraulic pressure is weak due to pump wear, no fluid change will fix that. That requires internal rebuild or replacement. Sometimes valve body repairs can address solenoid or hydraulic control issues, but once hard parts are damaged, replacement is unavoidable. The key is not assuming failure before confirming it. Because here's the painful truth. Many transmissions get replaced when the root cause was overheating due to poor cooling. And here's the equally painful truth on the other side. Many drivers ignore overheating warnings until the fluid is burnt beyond recovery, and that overheating eventually turns into actual mechanical failure. Heat is the #1 killer of automatic transmissions. Not mileage, not brand, heat. Preventing both overheating and failure comes down to managing heat and maintaining fluid integrity. Regular fluid services according to severe duty intervals if you tow. Maintaining the engine cooling system. Avoiding extended high-load operation without adequate cooling. Addressing small leaks immediately. Monitoring temperature data if your vehicle allows it. From the driver's seat, overheating and failure can feel almost identical. Slipping, hesitation, limp mode, warning lights. But one is often a protective reaction. The other is an internal breakdown. The difference is whether the behavior changes with temperature and whether internal damage indicators are present. If your transmission acts up only after warming up, improves after cooling down, and fluid is degraded but not contaminated with metal, you may be dealing with heat management, not destruction. If it slips consistently, makes abnormal mechanical noise, struggles even when cold, and shows internal debris, you're likely facing mechanical wear. The mistake that costs people thousands is assuming that heat-related behavior automatically equals failure. And the mistake that destroys transmissions is ignoring repeated overheating events because the car drives fine once it cools. Both extremes are dangerous. The goal is proper diagnosis before major decisions. If you like this breakdown, then you should watch our other detailed guide on transmission fluid symptoms and how to read fluid condition correctly. That video will show you exactly what burnt fluid looks like, what debris actually means, and how to tell the difference between normal wear and serious internal damage before you commit to a rebuild.